Joining us now, former communications advisor for President George W. Bush, the author, best-selling author of the novel 18 Acres, Nicole Wallace, joining us. So will you be honest?
Look, I have been honest, and I believe that if she were on the cusp of becoming the nominee for the Republican Party, a whole lot of people, and Mark Halperin probably could name them all, would talk about some of her, I think, more troubling deficiencies. But, you know, that really isn't even the point anymore. I mean, I think that what Joe wrote about yesterday, her incredible cynicism, her bitterness, her aggressive attempts to claw anyone that points out an area for her to work on, I think these things will continue to reveal herself, and the people that love her will continue to love her, but the people who are not so sure about her will, I think, formulate harder opinions and more clarity about her.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think anything can happen. I mean, that's really, it's not could she win. That's not the issue. The issue is why aren't, especially Republicans, prominent Republicans, kind of being honest about what they're dealing with. And can anyone explain it to me? Halperin?
No reason to take on her or her supporters now when she's a big player in the party. And as Nicole said...
Is there some gain to completely making up an opinion and standing by it and then behind the scenes saying, well, I'm just saying that?
She's going to be an important part of the Republican Party in 2012, whether she runs or not, or whether she's the nominee.
So they fear her?
Well, and they'd like her support and her supporters' support, but I think Nicole's right. What most of them seem to think is if she runs and she's going to be a serious force, people will step up to try to stop her. They may be underestimating how difficult that is.
But yeah, doesn't it become harder the more runway room you give her now? Meaning,
well, look, she doesn't...
If the plan is to cut her off at the legs later, why let her go now?
No one's going to cut her off at the legs. She will reveal things that only Sarah Palin can beat Sarah Palin. And let me tell you why no one will take her on. Her defenders and supporters, the likes of Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, people I admire, are so powerful on the right that nobody wants to anger any of those people. Nobody wants to end up in the crosshairs, and nobody wants to look like they are unwilling to let her do her thing. So I think she will continue to star in reality shows and appear on Dancing with the Stars and you know,
these
hit the trail.
These men that you name and admire, are they being honest?
Well, I think they honestly enjoy many aspects of Sarah Palin's political identity. But I think they don't feel like it's their job. They don't make up the Republican primary voters. And I think they are very interested in seeing she's very good for their business. She's good for ratings. And I think they are almost innately supportive of what she's trying to do, which is to revitalize kind of a grassroots
so there's
social
ratings,
conservative.
There's energy, there's political reasons.
Like,
but
it
what
sounds
about
very
truth?
cynical. It sounds very cynical, and you know, I find myself in this awkward position of you know, I think people should reserve judgment. I believe she will reveal herself for all of her great assets and for all of her obvious deficiencies.
Are you advising anyone who's thinking of running for president now?
No.
So if you were...
I write fiction. I spend all my time with a fictional president.
If you were advising Mitt Romney or someone else thinking about running, Tim Pawlenty, what would you tell them to do vis-a-vis Sarah Palin from now through next year?
I would celebrate her celebrity the way John McCain celebrated Barack Obama's celebrity during the campaign. It was like our 15 minutes of success. And I would just let her do her thing. She is going to be exposed enough to the American public that she will reveal what her you know, I think nature is. I think her nature has been revealed lately as very prickly, very cynical. Attacking Barbara Bush is something I never thought I'd live to see. Attacking Ronald Reagan, demeaning his credentials. These are things that are so sacred to Republicans that as they accumulate, people form their own opinions about her. And I think Mitt Romney and Tim Pawlenty are maybe a little overly cautious about just, you know, when the sun comes up, it's daytime, and it goes down, it's nighttime. There are things she does that are so obvious it's silly not to point them out. I think people like Jeb Bush are a little braver about pointing out the obvious, and obviously Joe. But I don't think people should be, you know, uptight and angsting about Sarah Palin. I think she'll reveal herself, and people will love her or hate her.
Honestly, I'm not angsting. I'm just sort of tired of hearing people say things that I know they don't believe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really believe that if it looked like she were about to become the nominee, or heaven forbid, the leader of the free world, a whole lot of people would stand up and say a whole lot of things.
All right. Best-selling author Nicole Wallace. Her book, 18 Acres. It's great. There's a female dog in it named Mika. And I know you meant nothing by that, right? I love it.
Mika is the president's favorite living creature.
Female dog.
Female
I
dog.
think it's great. Thank you. Nicole Wallace, thanks for coming on the show. And thank you for your honesty.